South Africa's nuclear energy program has been in operation since 1984. Energy expert Kgosientsho says South Africa has the relevant history in how to manage nuclear energy. She says that our nuclear program has served the country well.
If you think about it, from 1984, South Africa has been handling nuclear waste. It starts with the low-level waste, which is really gloves and things that people use within the facility, all the way up to high-level waste, which is the fuel that is spent. It's basically stored within some, call it pools there in Quebec at this stage. And the longer-term solution has not yet been finalized, and perhaps that's what people get concerned about.
When it comes to concerns around safety of nuclear, Kgosientsho explains the different types of nuclear.
There's different types of nuclear. When you talk about nuclear for power generation, that's a peaceful use of nuclear. It's used to generate power. And yes, we have had incidents like Fukushima. In fact, for me, I think that Fukushima is actually a good example of now Japan saying that we are going back full speed into nuclear technology.
She adds that this is a heavily regulated industry and that South Africa adheres to International Atomic Agency regulations. Electricity and Energy Minister Dr. Kgosientsho Ramokgopa has said that nuclear will form part of South Africa's policy to mitigate climate change.
Technology has a huge role to play in the energy mix as a clean source to ensure countries achieve energy security, energy sovereignty, and energy justice in the transition. The expansion of the nuclear program gives South Africa energy security and sovereignty.
Impact nuclear has on the environment plus its costs give it a key advantage as the world moves towards the just energy transition. Ramokgopa has acknowledged that in the shorter term, upfront affordability and capital is a challenge. Kgosientsho agrees.
Yes, it has upfront costs, capital costs, similar to, when I say similar, I don't mean the same amount, but similar to how renewable energy technologies are. There's a lot of capital requirements in the beginning, but then over time you are using the sun, and therefore your fuel costs are relatively low. In nuclear as well, that is why it's one of the cheapest in the mix right now in South Africa. It's because you require very little from a fuel perspective. So it's an investment that's required at an early stage. But countries are looking at options because they understand the value of having security of supply.
These nuclear projects need to be planned over a long period of time, adding that there's a need to balance those costs against the cost of not having energy, as is the case during load shedding. Abra Barbia, SABC News, Cape Town.